then the Emmy happened. Because I did it from my heart, for my country, for my children, without thinking about where it's going to go, if it's going to sell or not, religious matter, this and that. I just did it. So the reward was Saraswati, right? And the same episode gave me the something that I wanted since I was a child.
Hello and namaste. This is Preeti Pandey Adhikari, the founder of the Great Nepali Diaspora, a community of global Nepali talent. This is season 4 of TGND Beats Diaspora Ka Kurakani, a podcast where we share human stories of struggle, perseverance, and success. As we have a very special guest, Mr. Jaswant Shrestha. He is an Emmy-winning documentarian who has received 9 Emmy nominations so far in various categories, which we'll talk about. He has acted in several movies, music videos, and even did voiceovers in Miss Marvel and Doctor Strange. His latest project is called On a Quest with Jaswant and is available on YouTube. So let's welcome Jaswantji. Welcome. Thank you for being here.
Well, thank you for having me. Namaste, Sabaijanalai. It's a pleasure.
No, I'm super excited. I got to meet you actually before. I think this is one of the rare occasions where I got to meet, one of our guests before we actually did the recording. So thank you so much for your time. Malai Hollywood ma pani you showed me around. We got to have a conversation. So I'm so grateful for you. Ajuko time.
No, yeah, it was my pleasure actually. Yeah, thanks for reaching out. So whenever any Nepali reaches out when they are traveling or visiting LA, if I have time, I try to meet them. It's not possible to meet everybody, but it depends on where I am and who it is and everything like that.
Right.
And when you reached out and I saw what you're doing, it was like, yeah, this is great. This is something Nepalese people, especially living in abroad, really needs it to form that community like any other ethnicity people are, any other countries are doing it. They're really way in advance. We are catching up, I think. Yeah.
Tara, thank you for your time and thank you for your humility. Tara, let's get started. My first question Hazurko, in your own words, who is Jaswant? Is he an actor, a producer, or something else?
Well, first of all, Jaswant is an actor by heart. But he's also an artist who loves to work and value different aspects of filmmaking or storytelling. And he is someone that loves to work with a group of creatives, but in an unfortunate event, there is somebody that he is not able to hire. He is not able to bring on board or anything like that. He doesn't hesitate to step in to finish that vision. So that's who Jaswant is, I think.
I love that. And I think Theo is, irrespective of industry, this is so important, right? Because kati times kosto huncha bhane, especially if you become more successful, you take on these higher roles, higher titles, and people hesitate to go roll up their sleeves and do what's needed as well, right? That I think it's a lesson for all of us as well, right? You have to also be able to take on different roles.
Yep. That gives you different power, actually. That gives you different satisfaction.
Of course. I love that. Isma Jaswantji, your childhood and youth in Nepal, and you also worked there. How has that shaped you into the person? And two, as a professional, how has that shaped you?
Well, being a Nepali, growing up in Nepal, actually made me the person who I am, I think. Not having access to all these things and trying to do it yourself, trying to learn, staying grounded, I think. These are all the qualities I bring with me. Be able to work with a group of people and with zero ego. That's very important in this industry. I think, yeah, those are the powers that I got, because not having access, getting rejected multiple times to come to the US to fulfill my dreams of being an actor and filmmaker in Hollywood. I've gone through a lot for over the years of multiple visa rejections and things like that. So those things actually make me really stronger. Then I went to Bombay, worked in Bollywood for a few years as an assistant director. And all those hard work actually really put me grounded, and then it taught me to do multiple things, hyphenate, and do different things in the industry. So that actually helped me when I came here, because even if I go into a production, I know other things as well, and if the production needs something, I'm right there, and then you become an asset.
Exactly.
The valuable asset
and that's
like
such
that.
a positive mindset, Pani, right? Because I think, what you're talking about in terms of hyphenating and trying to sort of do alikati similar things that are in that same space, a lot of people are scared of it, right? They're like, okay, mero focus hundaina, maybe, I should just be this person, right? I should just be an actor. I should just be this. That, like you were saying, you're actually still, okay, after surface area of your success actually increase gariracho my, being in that too, right?
Yeah, either way, whatever department we are working on, jun kaam gare pani, editor host, writer host, it's related to the same project. It's related to the same. We're creating the same content, right?
Right.
So it's related. It cannot be separated. And I think whoever, त्यस्तो 20 वर्ष अगाडि यदि 22 वर्ष अगाडि यदि मैले भिजा पाएर म यहाँ आएर स्टुडेन्ट हुन पाएको भए, I might have thought that way too, because त्यो बेलाको time was like that. Be great at one thing, don't be master of none, के भन्ने छ नि त्यो.
Right.
There are some phrases like that. But I've been doing hyphenating since 20 years, like in Nepal when I was going to Manang to do documentaries, Manang to do music videos, like you're just like hyphenating everybody, basically, right? Not that the budget पनि हुँदैन लानलाई, there's no access, all those things. But that actually helped me by putting me on a driver's seat to create my own content, having my own production company running where I'm creating this while I'm pursuing bigger dreams. I'm still doing this non-fiction things along the way, अनि त्यसरी सोच्नु हुँदैन जस्तो लाग्छ मलाई चाहिँ. You don't have to do everything, but having knowledge about everything is not necessarily a bad thing.
Bad thing, exactly. No.
So
you definitely makes sense, and then we'll talk a little bit more about that. That one question I have is, मान्छेहरुलाई Hollywood भन्ने बित्तिकै, they think about this glitzy place, right? And it is, and that's what we see. That it's probably one of the hardest industries to get into, right?
It is.
How has your journey been? Especially to get started, okay? Especially like nobody really knows you.
Yeah. Tough is not enough. The word tough is nothing in front of what I've been through. Or anybody newcomer from anywhere, even famous people from different countries, actors, producers, when they get to a certain level, or when that artist, wants to go global, or have, my whole idea for Hollywood, even though growing up, Hollywood Jane was just like a raw, right? You watch movies and you want to go. But later on, as I was developing, काम गर्दा बम्बेमा पनि काम गर्दाखेरि, Hollywood is one place, if you make it, and if you tell your story, if I'm able to tell my story in Hollywood in a bigger scale, the whole world will know about it.
Right.
That's the power of this place. But because of that, the whole world is coming also.
Of course.
All the top talents, they want to come and work here. Nothing wrong with that, but that becomes very crowded, right?
Right.
That becomes very crowded place with full of talent.
Exactly.
And people
You're
are
competing against
ready
the
to
best for anything.
People are ready to work just to have a relationship with the production, or for free, like the top people, like big actors, they audition for roles every movie, It's not like that in India or even in Nepal.
Exactly.
Actually got it. You're basically proving yourself every time, right? So that's, and
So
it has been,
keeps you on your toes, even like
well,
even if,
yeah.
right?
Yeah, you can't have a, it's like working out every day. If you want to be strong and healthy, you have to work out every
It's
day. If you
almost like I
leave
had
it for
that
6
then.
months, you're done.
Right.
It's the same thing. So the muscle of acting memorizes and skill, everything like that. That's the reality of Hollywood. But, for me, it was first year I wanted to see what Hollywood acting is all about. So I went to a very famous school, acting school called Beverly Hills Playhouse, where big stars were trained there. And my classmate was Jorge Garcia, who was like the in Lost. After I saw Lost, he's like a classmate.
Right.
So, but they're not just coming to learn; they're actually coming to exercise.
Right.
Even after, so think about it. He's a big superstar from Lost, and he's back in class doing scenes with us.
I love that mindset, Pani, right?
Yeah. So that's how it is. And ityo gore त्यसपछि, you can't just go and not make money. And being in Nepal, as I said, the hyphenation things, and I had to make a living, and I did not want to do anything. Nothing wrong with any other work, but I want to work in the industry,
right.
whatever it is. So those hyphenated always kept me busy or hired me somewhere along the way. So that's how I've been going through. And then for last few years, things have changed with the work. People know. Then I started my own production, which Nepal also I used to do, but then started doing this nonfiction shows. Like The Quest is the new one. I did festivals. That was still in discovery. So yeah, but it has been a tough journey, but it's not an impossible journey because I have done it,
Yeah.
And
रमाइलो पनि लाग्छ जसवन्तजी. You think about it.
You see, the thing is, whatever pain or suffering you are going through, for me, it's not pain and suffering. That's the beauty. Because that's, to get muscle, you need to really pump and make it pain. So that's exactly what it is. त्यो मैले कहिले पनि struggle को हिसाबले, I don't like the word struggle.
Right.
Because nobody is forcing me to do it.
It's a choice. It has to be.
It's my choice. It has to be a choice. And for me, I have never had a plan B, and I still don't have a plan B. Whatever it is I'm doing in this until I can.
Right.
And I think that also helped me because I was not stepping in two boats.
Right.
यसमै गर्ने हो, लागि पर्ने हो, and so far it has happened. I'm happy with that, what I have, a little bit what I have achieved, and there's so much to climb. It just, every time I get somewhere, it's like, oh, this is the first step. I was like, when is the 10th step going to be? It's like, there's never a 10th step, right? You still have 500 steps to climb.
Right,
so it's fun. It's
I
fun.
love how you think and so on. Theo is so incredible, and I think inspiring for everybody, right? Because people, I think हाम्रो human nature कस्तो पनि छ भने, okay, let me climb these यो दुईटा things and then I'm set. Then I can relax. But what you're saying is there is no relaxing. If it's your passion, you're supposed to constantly feel like a newcomer पनि.
Right. So that's what keeps you young. Keep on going. So you're trying to adapt to things, but if I'm doing a project, okay, I want to get this project, this will go to the television, will make some money or name, and then goes to the Emmy and wins an Emmy. But while it's not the end. It's just while I'm going there, I already saw other things from there, wherever I reached, right? So jamo puge त्यहाँबाट I'm seeing other views, and I want to go there. So it never changes.
Never changes, Never changes. यसमा जसवन्तजी, I mean, you've worked in Bollywood and Hollywood, त्यसमा of course core differences होला, तर maybe in terms of not just even the scale and so on, what are some like core differences? Is it, I don't want to say, is it easier for Nepalis in Bollywood, तर what are some core differences that you see?
Well, I haven't been in Bollywood for many years now. I can't talk about, but I know a lot of Nepalese bhaiharu Nepalma काम गरिरहेकोहरु पनि they are doing cinematography, TV showहरुमा काम गरिरहेछ. धेरै नेपालीहरुले गरिरहेछ बम्बेमा चाहिँ. I think त्यो हाम्रो जुन एउटा you know सजिलो त उहाँहरूलाई पनि थिएन. 100% I know because I have been in Bombay. कसरी मैले काम गरेको थिएँ मलाई थाहा छ. कतिवटा रात भोकै भोकै सुतेको थिएँ मलाई थाहा छ. So it's not easy for them. Whoever has got there, I applaud them. I respect them, their talent. But I think there's more opportunities there in terms of because we look alike. ढाट्यो भने पनि कसैले पनि पत्याउँदैन. हिन्दी राम्रो बोल्दियो भने हैन म भने पनि लिनको लागि. But it's not the case here. As you live here, you know how it is in every industry here, and especially being in Hollywood. There is, technically, if you are not in front of the camera or your voice is not used, there is people don't know. You can just perform your work and it's done. It's good, right? But if you are seen, then becomes a problem because there's less roles for that. I mean, I haven't in 13 years in LA. I have never. I think at 3 times I've read about somebody Nepali they're looking for. 3 times in 13 years, and I have agents and everything like that, right? And that was also twice was a male character and one was a female character. And there's nobody they can, and they rewrite and go with Indians. And I am fighting with Indian, and with voices, it doesn't matter how I look because if I speak like an American, I can do it. I do different accents. Or India ma baseko bhayera Bombay ma kaam gareko speak very well Hindi, Bengali, and all that. So there's a lot because now it's become more like a multinational thing, right? Globalization by that. So harik show you can watch it in 70 different languages and things like that. So it's definitely open up. I would say, but at the same time, this last few years after the COVID has been really difficult as well. So and especially in the US, we have unions, and I'm the member of the Screen Actors Guild, proud member of the Screen Actors Guild, and that restricts where productions are not really taking care of the actors. They're working for us, so I get it, but at the same time, becomes less opportunities. त्यसै त कम थियो त्यही माथि कम हुन्छ kind of situation. अनि स्ट्राइकहरु गइरहेको छ त्यसले गर्दा कामहरु चाहिँ अलिकति त्यसमा अलिकति डिस्टर्ब भएको छ. Yeah, there was a Writers Guild को स्ट्राइक भयो. त्यसपछि Screen Actors Guild को अहिले फेरि हामी भिडियो गेम सँग उ भइरहेछ, स्ट्राइक भइरहेछ. Yeah, with AI and everything. So it's interesting time transition अब कसरी जान्छ हेर्नु पर्छ अब.
Right. तर do you at least hope कि नेपाली नै नभए पनि South Asian characters चाहिँ आजकल more and more mainstream भइरहेछ हैन? There are shows that have so many South Asians and not as stereotypical त्यस्तो पनि हैन कि राम्रो roles-हरु पनि the people are writing these roles. अब यो Mindy Kaling जस्तोकोले like there's actually like a full sort of set full of South Asians and so on. Do you see that अलिकति happening more and more that might actually benefit नेपालीहरु पनि?
Down the line for sure. खुलेको छ चाहिँ definitely हो. But again, उनीहरुले अब मिन्डीले पनि she created herself. She wrote the show or she's producing the show. So that kind of action has to come from the creators as well. That's why I'm doing producing as well. I'm not waiting कहिले एउटा audition आउला र मैले त्यो 500 जनामा एक जना बनाउला र गरौँला भन्ने होइन. That's also there because that's also the goal.
Happening, right?
But you're constantly working on something else. Either it's a short. There's no अहिले technology equipmentहरु, camerasहरु. It's cheaper. Anybody can put a production together, get together. You got to prove it first. That's what यहाँ भन्छ. यहाँ त्यस्तो relation मेरो भाइ हो, मेरो छोरा हो, ला हाल्दियो भनेर त्यस्तो हुँदैन के यहाँ. And it's sad sometimes. I feel sorry, साथीहरुले हामीलाई पनि तान्नु पर्यो भन्छ हैन. अब कसरी तान्ने? First of all, you have to be here. In order to go and fight, जसरी म fight गरिरहेछु, it's always proving yourself. I don't think there is any profession like this that has to prove one after the
Time
other,
and again, right?
yeah,
Right.
yeah, and
And
get
you,
rejected.
we'll talk about your rejection as well, Jaswant. तर एउटा क्विक थिङ अब यो नेपालको त्यस्तो तान्ने हुँदैन तर नेटवर्किङ त स्टिल चाहिन्छ राइट तर पिपल आई थिङ्क मिसअन्डरस्ट्यान्ड हाम्रो नेपाली कम्युनिटीमा स्टिल वाट द्याट नेटवर्किङ मिन्स भनेर राइट सो इन योर एक्सपिरियन्स चाहिँ यो फिल्म इन्डस्ट्री यो फर्टर्निटीमा चाहिँ नेटवर्किङ द राइट नेटवर्किङ कस्तो हुन्छ एन्ड हाउ क्यान people do that and how can हामीहरूको त्यस्तो organization right that is a collective of all kinds of people all kinds of Nepaliहरू चाहिँ play a part in something like that.
Right. So networking, first of all, if you want making into any industry, Hollywood is it, you got to be not 100% but 200% of what you are, right? And that kind of gets broken down into, ultimately that's only 50% and 50% becomes the networking, which is a big another 20%, kind of like 200%. Hamro networking, I mean, we don't have people here, so there's no networking, right? So in that case, म जान्छु कति मलाई चाइनिजहरूको नेटवर्किङ प्रोग्राम भयो उनीहरूको अर्गनाइजेसनहरूले चाइनिज स्टुडेन्टहरूलाई सपोर्ट गरिरहेकोहरू त्यस्तोहरू छ यहाँनिर इन्डियनहरूको इट्स बिग होइन त्यस्तो अर्गनाइजेसनहरू छ अनि बट हाउ हुनसक्छ भने चाहिँ there has to be events, there have to be proven things that these organizations are doing things before they are actually approaching us. Does that make sense? So, like in your case, you are doing screenings of people or elevating filmmakers or putting it out there. Whenever the celebrations are happening, small little wins are happening, that's getting publicized, without any, free of mind, right? With full of love and support for that artist. It could be filmmaker, it could be anybody.
Right.
But when that gets noticed is when nowadays when big shows are coming out, like Chinese shows are coming out, the organization they reach out to for promotion because they know they have this big community.
Exactly.
Right? So, and these things comes with building up. There's something that we can go. I mean, obviously, if there's a film festival, we want to participate and do something that's different. You know, that is different. In LA, there's something happening. We want to represent Nepal, but also, then how are we going to make Nepalese artists known here?
Exactly.
Where people don't try. I mean, people have come here. They study here. I know a couple of people who have studied here, went back, or they are doing something else, or and I don't blame them. अब गाह्रो छ नि त गाह्रो छ म त प्लान बी नै नभए जे दुःख पाए पनि पाउँछ जे भए पनि भयो दिस इज मी भनेर गरेको हो सबैले गर्नु सक्दैन त्यो पनि म आई totally understand that, but also I think collaboration or गर्न सकिन्छ. Those people are into business now. Maybe they have more access to funding, so how they can collaborate and make things happen here.
Exactly.
We have to write stories that we want to see ourselves in.
Exactly.
Right? So these, I think that's how
investment पनि हुनुपर्छ at some point चाहिँ if you want Nepali stories to be told, you have to invest in that in whatever way, right?
Yeah. No, definitely. त्यो चाहिँ अब रहर मात्रै गरेर त हुँदैन भनेर मात्रै हुँदैन. Everybody has stories, right? Here एउटा कुरा भन्छ क्या हलिउडमा कि everyone has 50 different ideas, but do you have it in paper? Can I read it now? Can you send it to me now? As no. That's where the reality hits in, होइन त्यस्तो छ. But nothing impossible. I think we are probably 20-30 years ago, Chinese also started the same way. Indians did the same way. We follow through slowly, but I do not really see that good unity for some reason. Let's do it. Le garam. होइन I'll take this position, let's do त्यस्तो खालके कुराहरू चाहिँ
बिस्तारै बिस्तारै it's happening.
होला yeah बिस्तारै बिस्तारै होला हुन पनि पर्छ otherwise there won't be change.
Exactly,
you know
exactly.
there won't be change. So अब कति राम्रो हुन्थ्यो यहाँनिर चाहिँ अब त्यो किसिमको थुप्रो अरू कलाकारहरू पनि हलिउडमा हुने भएर सबैजना मिलेर केही न केही गरौँ भनेर we have stories, we can tell stories, we can make as good movies that those are getting produced here.
Exactly.
But why aren't we doing it?
Hamro चाहिँ I think one sort of problem that we see is हाम्रो diaspora has been so fragmented के सबैजना आफ्नो लोकेसनमा भन्ने कि आफ्नै केमा अनि बिस्तारै बिस्तारै हामी आई थिङ्क कलेक्ट हुँदैछौँ सो मलाई चाहिँ एकदमै धेरै अप्टिमिजम लाग्छ इन टर्म्स अफ यस हामी अलिकति अब इन्डिया चाइना या नेबरिङ कन्ट्रिजहरूमा हेऱ्यो भने अफकोर्स अलिकति पछाडि तर आई थिङ्क बिस्तारै बिस्तारै विल गेटिङ देयर अलिकति स्लो भए पनि आई थिङ्क यो टाइमिङ चाहिँ अहिले चाहिँ सिम्स भेरी भेरी गुड के इन टर्म्स अफ अल द्याट चाहिँ
राइट No, that I hope it becomes faster sooner, so we can make an impact. अब हाम्रो आउने जेनेरेसन भन्दा पनि अहिले हामीले इम्प्याक्ट पार्दिउँ न भन्ने किसिमको है. So let's start with 30 years.
हजुर no त्यो I think there's going to be a change. I think त्यो sense नै भइरहेछ कि like in terms of how people are behaving भनौँ न त्यो like 10 years 20 years भन्दा चाहिँ I think एउटा एक किसिमको optimism एक किसिमको collaborative mindset बिस्तारै बिस्तारै form भइरहेछ so hopefully
fingers crossed. That's how we can make an impact. Team नभइकन like-minded people नभइकन हुँदैन एक्लै गर्न सकिँदैन केही पनि.
Exactly, it's harder, हैन?
No, yeah, it's way harder. फेरि त्यो पनि हुँदैन नि अब जस्तै मानिलिउँ कोही अर्को एकजना actor or filmmaker ayo and Nepali ayo he won an Oscar so okay it's only one person okay that's history great but what if there was a whole community of Nepalese people getting nominated for 16 different this thing all the techniques the talent bhako manche nabhako ta hoina we have it
of course
but we got to create opportunities for them too editors haru mere sathiharu cha Nepal ma speak with them all the time they're very super talented guys तर उनीहरूलाई कसरी इन्कर्पोरेट गर्ने
अनि आई थिङ्क त्यो अहिले चाहिँ त्यो डिफरेन्स अर्को के पनि छ भने आई थिङ्क हामी चाहिँ हाम्रो कम्युनिटी भनौँ न द्याट यो डायस्पोरा कम्युनिटीबाट अलिकति हामी अकाउन्टेबिलिटी पनि खोजिरहेछौँ कि विच मिन्स द्याट अब जुन इन्डस्ट्रीमा होस् फिल्म इन्डस्ट्री होस् या जे इन्डस्ट्रीमा भए पनि यस अमेजिङ हजुरले भने जस्तै युर सक्सेसफुल यु विन अवार्ड्स युर सुपर रिच वाट एभर इट इज राइट त्यो सबै इज ग्रेट तर वाट आर यु डुइङ कन्सियसली टु हेल्प अदर नेपालीहरूलाई कसरी लाइक हजुरकै वर्ड युज गर्ने कसलाई सपोर्ट गरिरहेछ कसरी हाउ आर यु ओपनिङ अप अपर्च्युनिटिज टु अदर्स भनेर चाहिँ त्यो अलिकति त्यो पनि इज इम्पोर्टेन्ट के नभए त्यो आफू मात्रै सक्सेसफुल भएर त इट मिन्स इट जस्ट हेल्प्स यु इट डजन्ट हेल्प आवर कम्युनिटी एट अल राइट
नो हो त्यही त त्यो कुराहरूमा अब लाइक शोजहरूको कुरा हुन्छ यो हुन्छ होइन अब अनफर्चुनेटली मेरो फेस्टिभल सिरिज विच वान एन्ड एमी इज नट इन द युएस मार्केटहरूमा छैन डिस्कभरीसँग छ राइट्सहरूको कुरा हुन्छ दे आर इन डिफ्रेन्ट कन्ट्रिज बट तिहार गाई जात्रा दिज आर अल events
exactly
दसैँ where is the screening एक दुई जनाले गरेछ तर where is the screening anybody approaching me saying hey यो त एजुकेसनल छ त हाम्रो बच्चाहरूलाई देखाउनु पर्यो
exactly
मेरो साथीहरूलाई देखाउनु पर्यो so another person goes over there there's none of those activities right
र अहिले त्यही त I mean र अहिले फेरि if you just look at North America कै कन्टेक्स्टमा हेर्यो भने almost हरेक सिटीमा दसैँ तिहार आर सेलिब्रेटेड यस्तो ठुलो ठुलो हिसाबले एन्ड सो अन राइट सो इट्स जस्ट एडिङ द्याट वान पार्ट टु एन्ड अलरेडी
सी द थिङ इज दसैँ तिहार मनाउँदैछौँ हामी आवर फ्यामिलीज आर कमिङ टुगेदर ग्रेट बट मोर देन आवर फ्यामिलीज वी आर इन्भाइटिङ आउटसाइडर्स लाइक अमेरिकन्स टु कम एन्ड सेलिब्रेट राइट त्यो इभेन्टमा त हुँदा त आएर गरेछ नि त
एक्ज्याक्टली
बट वाट इफ दे क्यान अल्सो सी वाट इट इज इन अ स्टोरी
right
त्यो हेरेर झन् बुझ्दैन उनीहरूले या दसैँ तिहारले यो रहेछ ठिक छ तिहार भाइ टिका रहेछ कुकुर तिहार रहेछ ग्रेट अल गुड देयर but डिटेलमा के रहेछ कसरी रहेछ हिस्टोरिकल ब्याकग्राउन्ड के हो यसको कहाँबाट आयो कसरी सुरु भयो भन्ने त they want to know
right
and it's available
right
but nobody is pulling it out there.
Do you think people don't know or people are
I don't think that they don't know though, you know, bro, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's hard to, I mean, it's super hard to organize things, but if you're already organizing it, putting it as a small program doesn't hurt. It actually elevates you.
Elevate the program. Exactly. Right?
Yeah. Recently we did one in Colorado. They were doing this Gai Jatra, K Jatra garde थियो बहिनीले, and then she wanted to do अनि त्यो habitat of humanity अनि कुन organizationहरु मिलेर उनीहरुले गरेर we just did Saraswati Puja and Gai Jatra's screening to local 200 plus people from Colorado.
Right.
They are interested about our culture. They want to go to Nepal after seeing all these things. Who's going to benefit that? Because the clear picture of the Gai Jatra kasari manaउँदै रहेछ किन मनाउँदै रहेछ it's very interesting. I want to go there.
Right.
But she took that initiative and I applaud her for that, and it was nice. Good support from the cities and everything.
Right.
So everything was good. So त्यस्तो कुराहरु त्यो त म देख्छु तर अब I don't know. I don't think it's unknown चाहिँ हो जस्तो लाग्दैन. But it could be.
Maybe. But I think हाम्रो एन्डबाट चाहिँ I think what हाम्रो एन्डमा TGND को तर्फबाट what will sort of aim is also त्यो showcasing के right कहिलेकाहीँ चाहिँ people might know or might not know that it doesn't hurt to put it again
right
in front of people, right? So त्यो भयो भने चाहिँ maybe it's a different set of people that are looking for it and all of that as well. So let's hope that आउँदाखेरि चाहिँ at least there's few organizations that reach out. हामी when we share about your podcastहरु पनि we'll obviously share about the work done and everything. So त्यो गर्छौं तर one question I had in terms of these documentaries कोमा चाहिँ you talked a little bit about your hyphenating and all of that, right? त्यो सबै छ तर in terms of your documentaries को एउटा idea बाट चाहिँ Emmy सम्मको त it's a long process, right? In terms of how you work, is it like you have a goal to win an Emmy or something like एउटा के goal भएर do you work backwards कि it's just the idea and you see where it goes?
Well, where it goes, it's all planned. Obviously, the goal has been to win an Emmy and the Oscar also, which I have to fulfill.
Yeah.
But when I'm doing a project, I don't think about the awards.
Right.
I take the liberty to call myself a poet, even though I don't write often.
Mm.
It's like if a poet wants to write something in the middle of the night,
right,
he's going to get up or she's going to get up and write it. She's not going to wait for somebody else to give permission.
Right.
So that's how I approach my work, which I really truly believe from my heart, and I really want to tell the story. And I go I tried the traditional route, trying to raise money, trying to go to the network and pitching them and everything, and they all loved the trailer, but they never gave any single penny, and all this thing happened.
Right.
But festivals, documentaries, I've been doing documentaries back home in Nepal as well before, but your festivals, I was going to do two things with this. One was this was going to be my true love letter to my country. And the second thing was I wanted to create something for my kids that they can refer to 20 years, 30 years down the line. Or any children, they are growing up in the Western world or outside of Nepal. If they want to know about these festivals, I wanted something to be there so they can learn from it. So that was the whole idea. And then I made it happen. It took me a long time because there was no funding. I had to work something, put some money to do all these things. It took almost 3 years to get it done. Then I reached out back to the same people that, hey, I was trying to raise money 3 years ago. Now it's done. Do you want it? Kind of like that. So that's how Discovery happened. Festivals can be seen in Italy, in Italian language. It's coming to Australia also. SBS has it, but they haven't given me a date to release it yet. But SBS in Australia is also going to have it. So yeah, so and then the Emmy happened because I did it from my heart, for my country, for my children, without thinking about where it's going to go, if it's going to sell or not. It really just mattered, this and that. I just did it. So the reward was Saraswati, right? And the same episode gave me the something that I wanted since I was a child. Yeah.
And that's such an incredible, accomplishment, not just for you, individually, but हामीहरु सबैजनाको लागि just is such a proud moment. So
thank you so much.
Congratulations on that. Jaswantji, you talked a little bit in terms of all of that, right? This rejection ko चाहिँ कति times चाहिँ I think with rejection, of course, not easy to take it. कतिजना चाहिँ you give up अलिकति too easy, too चाँडै and all of that, right? तर what keeps you going? Because your industry methods on rejection is part of the game.
Oh yeah, it is a big part of the game.
Right.
It's, rejection is like, there's different kind of rejections. There's not really a rejection like, oh, you're not good, not like that, but it's gonna be like a silent rejection.
Oh.
Every audition you do, every interview you give, when you don't hear back after a certain time, you know it's not there, right? And then you audition for the same production, and then you didn't get it. You were auditioning couple times. You went there, you did all the screen tests, whatnot, and then the silence. Then one day you go to the movies, you're watching this film, it's like boom, another character comes up with saying your same line that you've been working on, right? and then that's happened a couple times to me. And then how I take it, I feel bad, but not as bad, because then they decided to go a different route. Because me, I was going in as an Indian doctor playing this. There was a big movie, actually, horror movie that I had tested for, and then when I saw the character, those lines being played, was an African American actor. Yeah. So it was a totally different cast.
But they didn't inform people about.
They don't inform anybody. You get it. You go on a limousine to the shooting. You don't get it. You're done. You opt for another one.
Oh wow.
But the beauty is, they casting officely, they production officely, if they are calling you for another one, that means they like you. You're doing something right. They're going. It's not just the right fit, because it's not one person deciding this.
Exactly.
This is the whole studio. Whole studio deciding, so many people, so many elements comes in, height, color, how you look, how tall, how not tall,
right?
Big, small, everything plays in. And so if you take it seriously, your life will be miserable. So, and I have been used to rejection from early on, even in the Bombay days and everything like that. And here, initially, Poilo Barsama, when I was auditioning, when I became the Screen Actor Guild member, every audition was like, oh, I might get it, and then there's nothing happens. So slowly you develop. I think this is one skill that I have developed, but it takes a while to develop. And now, anytime there's a rejection, or I don't get anything, or I'm talking with my agent, hey, by the way, they went with somebody else, and it's like, too bad they didn't have the luck to work with me. I take it in that way, instead of not them. They are not lucky enough to work with me. So it kind of switches. It's just a flip of thinking, which keeps you going, I think. Yeah, I mean, you obviously want things to happen when you work on it. You have pages and pages of dialogues. You learn your lines. You become the character. You record it. You go and you perform without nothing. Yeah. You don't get paid to do all those things.
Right.
We'll get paid heavily if you get it, but you won't get paid. So
right.
Yeah. So it's a very tricky. It's something that's undescribable. I think families are Laipani. I'm lucky that I have a supportive family, but I don't think people will understand, even if you say, this is weird. Like, how does that work?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's the choice you make as an artist,
Exactly.
and if it was not hard, everybody would do it,
Could
right?
be.
Yeah. So rejection, I think, if I have to suggest, is like, just flip it. They're not worth your time.
Yeah.
But it's hard even to think that. That
Of
also
course.
comes with practice.
Of course. No, 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 of
So
course, right? No, no, no. Theo makes so much sense in terms of just dealing with all of that, right? And you have to constantly motivate yourself more than anybody else. I know. So no,
yeah.
very, very interesting. Jaswant, film industry ma, Hollywood ma, do you have any एउटा idol हुन्छ नि एउटा like, oh my god, this is like one person I want to work with or I want to see, त्यस्तो कोही छ या have you actually met any of your idols?
Idols, there's so many of those. Ekjana that I cannot choose.
Right.
If I have to go back and say why I wanted to be an actor, then I can easily say who that is. That's Mithun Chakravarti.
Oh, wow.
Like when I
Which
saw his
movie?
films, Qasam Paida Karne Wale Ki was the movie. And I used to bunk school and go to the theater to watch movies, like same movie for 30 times, 40 times,
Right.
So that's crazy I was, but that's different story another time.
Different.
But there's so many idols that people I look up to, right? People I look up to, and I've met them. I've met Kate Winslet is one. I love not just how talented she is, like how many different kind of roles she does.
Exactly.
Pretty much met all of them. People I like, Robert Downey Jr. I've met. And yeah, there's so many of those I'm
Right.
inspired by, because I cannot pick one person now. There's no one person that I want to be like this. Then I'll limit myself. I want to incorporate everything, right?
Of course.
And I'm always inspired by these actors or filmmakers when I see them doing stuff. It's like, wow, it blows my mind away.
Yeah.
So yeah, and just keeps it. That's the motivation. I go to even the movies. I don't watch at TV. TV show I watch in TV. Movies I go to the theater.
Right. It's a
I
different
like it's because I can see like a small little hair moving. When they are reacting to something. It's so much to learn from them. It just
Right.
engages you. It's beautiful to see it like that. Yes. So I like to see good films, the good performances on a big screen.
Right. No, I think Theo is such a different experience, and sometimes I think even Theo remote work, Theo sabai घरमा हेर्ने भएर पनि कहिलेकाहीँ it's diluted that experience, okay?
Right.
त्यो movie theater मा त्यो proper उसमा हेर्ने is such a different experience for sure.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
Just want to hear a quick sort of thing about you have these you've achieved so much that I know you have so much more to do, right? You have your amazing goals and everything. What is that absolute, if you could think about something professionally, right? Is it an Oscar? What would be your incredible professional goal?
Achievement. Okay. I want more Emmys. I want to win an Emmy as an actor as well, not as a documentarian only. Oscars. This would be the ideal situation. I have tons of Emmys at home, couple of Oscars here, and 30 years worth of work that if I work every day, it's there. So from now on, 30 years every day, if I can work on films or TV shows, so that would be
30 years more. So which means
but I would work more, because 30 years I want to die on set. Basically, I want to work like Clint Eastwood. He's still directing movies. He's still acting.
Right.
I want to do like Devanand.
Right.
Until his last breath, he was working.
Right.
Yeah,
no,
that would be the blessing.
No, and I think it also differentiates people that have real passion versus where you think of it as a job versus a career. That and it also signifies, right? Because otherwise, it's like, okay, I can't wait to retire. It's also like you're just trying to pay the bills and you're just doing it because you have to.
Yeah.
That something that fuels you is something else, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Awesome. एउटा question say completely alikati different from everything that we talked about. You know, what is the best parenting advice you've received and that you know, use?
Well, this is funny. I actually haven't received any great advice on
bad
parenting.
advice matre?
Bad
No,
advice?
nobody's
Funny,
giving you
I mean, not really. I don't think I seeked advice.
No.
You know, I mean, yesto garनुपर्छ usto garनुपर्छ. Basic things are different, right? When
Right.
the kid is your children is born and things like that happens, but not necessarily. कुरा निक्लिहाल्यो, I'm going to share something with you.
Has.
So, me and my wife, we went on a breakfast date after 8.5 years
Oh, wow.
outside. That was the day my son went to school. So, daughter the पहिलेदेखि गइरहेको थियो.
That's right.
Son was always there. If we go out, he's with us.
Right,
But only
right.
she and me, 8.5 years. So that's how involved we are with the
Right.
kids.
Right,
So, realtorले, मेरो यहाँ साथीहरूले, hey, you guys should go on a date. We'll take care of them. Don't worry. I was like, भनिरह्यो घरिघरि भनिरह्यो भने चाहिँ I was like, maybe you should come with us. त्यो अलिकति protective, overprotective पनि होला, तर I think they need it because
Right.
who I am, I think the family bonding while I was growing up
Right.
is what I am, and I
Right.
believe if that's there,
Well,
it's going to help them the
Of
same
course.
way. You know, I don't want them to grow up and like, okay, bye. You know, so I think that's त्यो अलिकति के भन्छ हाम्रो अलिकति मतलब पनि भनौँ.
yes. Right,
So, but that's how we've been doing it. So I can proudly say nobody gave any advice. But if I have to give advice, keep
What
them
would you
close. Keep them close. Don't let them alone. Guide them through every ups and downs. Make them your friend.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think. That's my advice.
I mean, that's good advice. I think you is so important. So this actually brings us to the end of हाम्रो यो long sort of अलिकति deeper questions. That we actually have a smaller rapid fire round. Jaswant ji.
Okay.
Some basic 5 or 6 questions. एकदमै एकदमै like you just you know, I'll ask something and you just, you know, whatever you first think of, you just answer.
Okay,
Us?
I'll try.
Nothing too crazy. Should be
Okay.
fun. So let's get started. एउटा चाहिँ favorite Nepali word or phrase you use?
चिसो पानी.
What context do you use it for?
I think it just took me back to my childhood time, like how much I used to love to go to the river and dip my water into it. The chiso pani, I think it's just it has a different kind of feeling that it grounds me and brings it close to nature.
Love that. एउटा device, a tech device that you can't live without.
Camera. Not iPhone, but camera.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Professional. Do you take pictures? Do you are you the subject or do you like taking pictures and videos?
I like both. That's the problem. I like both. I like to be in front, and I like to do. Yes, so it's greedy on that part. You know, I like. I don't necessarily want to do like that all the time, but I started with still photography when very young, so I like images. Yeah.
Right. But it's rare, right? Because you know, people that want to be behind the camera don't usually like the spotlight. So I love that you can, even Esma Pani, you can hyphenate yourself and you can be both, right? So
I did that in on a Quest is something like that as well. It's a travel told from a filmmaker's perspective.
Exactly.
There's never been a filmmaker's perspective, South Asian filmmaker's perspective in a travel show. And a lot of the shots you'll see that I am filming as well because that's the concept of the show.
That's right.
Yeah.
No, I've seen some bits and pieces of it and I love that. So I think हाम्रो audience they're going to enjoy that very much.
Yeah.
Next, you know, a place in Nepal that you never get tired of seeing whenever you get to visit.
Pokhara Lakeside.
Still beautiful, always.
Silver,
right?
yeah. I used to go boating there. Boating kaile the music video गर्ने time I used to take a boat alone and be in the middle of the lake and just trying to think about the stories what I want to do in that music
nice.
videos or things like that. Yeah, so yeah.
Awesome. Orko चाहिँ a Nepali food that you like.
Dal bhat.
How often do you
Dal
have that being an actor?
Well, यहाँ चाहिँ अलिकति उनै छ, you know, I do try to at least once a week. घरमा पाक्छ हामी, we mostly we cook at home, but it's like you know, diet भन्छ के भन्छ हैन, त्यसले गर्दाखेरि अलिकति रिस्ट्रिक्टै गरेर खान्छु.
Right. But whenever you do, you do enjoy it.
Yeah. Oh, I loved. Yeah, Nepali food is the best food.
Awesome. Next चाहिँ मेरो I guess last question यो उसमा rapid fire मा चाहिँ a person like in your field that you would love to meet. Could be Nepali, non-Nepali.
I would love to meet so many. Okay, you put me on a place here now. I would love to meet Kate Winslet again, but have a conversation about doing a project together.
Well, let's hope that happens.
I have met her, said hi and hello and all that is there, you know, taking pictures and stuff, but really want to be there is really discussing something to do together.
Awesome. And that's our hope for you for this year, Jaswantji. But thank you so much for joining. I think this was so nice to reconnect with you. And I think हाम्रो members-हरुले, हाम्रो community, I think they will really love to know more than just a name, right? I think thank you for sharing your हजुरको story and everything that you're doing. You still have so much more to accomplish and make us proud and everything. But thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. Namaste. I'll see you soon sometime.
Perfect. And for our listeners, please like, subscribe, and send us feedback. Thank you.